so that we are ready to go in just about a minute. All right. And I would like to get started. We'll get started right on time so that I can let you out right on time. But I want to start by saying Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that 2025, you've had a great start to the year. I'm really excited to be back with you again for today's Adobe for Education session. Today, we are going to be talking about visible thinking routines with Adobe Express. So, I have some fun things for you to try within the Adobe for Educators platform. As well as at the end of today, you will receive your certificate, and I'm going to give you time to fill out your survey for Jefferson County as well. So, I built all of that time right into today's training so that you'll have time to do all of that as well. So, for those of you who I have not met before, who haven't sat in on these trainings, my name is Sean O'Neill. I'm an instructor with EdTech Teacher, and EdTech Teacher is a partner with Adobe for Education. And so we do a lot of the trainings for Adobe. So I am a huge lover of all things Adobe Express. And not only do I train for Adobe using Adobe Express, but I also use it a ton in my personal life, in my professional life. So hopefully I'll be able to answer any and all questions you have today. And if I can't, I promise I will find the answers for you. You can see right here by my bio, I was a classroom teacher for 24 years. And for the last 3 years, I've been a full-time professor at BSU, but it's Bridgewater State University, which is here in Massachusetts where I live. And I teach in the elementary and early childhood department. So I'm teaching the college seniors who want to become elementary and early childhood teachers. So it's really wonderful. And it's really different than teaching first graders. So, in our 60-minute session today, you will be ready, or I should say, by the end of our 60-minute session today, you'll be ready to get your students creating. So, just like again, if you've sat in these sessions with me before, because we're offering these monthly sessions, and each month we're focusing on a different skill using Adobe Express. But today, as I said, we're going to be talking about visible thinking routines. So your students will be able to discover the power of digital creation using that Adobe for Educators account. They'll be able to start creating in Adobe Express. And at the end of our time together, you will all have a link where you can get your badge and certificate for taking part of this training as well. So, as always, we always start all of our sessions with this big question. So, what is your biggest hope for your students? And you are welcome to put that in the chat if you want to share. If it's after school and you're like, oh my gosh, I'd kind of just want to listen right now, that is fine too. I totally understand. But, when we see these smiling faces, kind of think about what is your biggest hope for your students? While you're thinking about that, if you want to go in and either open a new window in your incognito screen or open a new tab at the top, I'm going to switch screens for a minute. And again, if you've been in trainings with me before, I like to show you the slides and the information that's on the slides, but I think the real meat and potatoes of this is showing you how to use these skills within the platform. I go back and forth, but I'm going to spend the bulk of our time together within the platform. Before we get started, if you want to open, as I was saying, if you want to open an incognito window or if you want to open another tab, and if you want to go into your Adobe Express for Educators account, just so you're kind of with us while I'm talking through this, please feel free. If you're the type of learner who you're more comfortable kind of watching and listening and then going and trying this on your own later, totally fine too. I just would like you to engage in whatever way works best for you. If you want to go in to your Adobe Express for Educators account, you're going to log in with your school email at new.express.adobe.com. And then you'll be brought to your Adobe Express for Education account, which is going to look just like this, but down the bottom, you probably won't have my projects. You will have some of your own projects as well. So again, to go into your account, it's new.express.adobe.com. All right, and I am going to switch back here and we're going to go on to really start thinking about those thinking routines, what those thinking routines are, and how those thinking routines can really impact and help our students. All right. So here we go. The other thing I just want to say before I kind of get on my roll with this is those of you who, again, have not sat in on a training with me before, I am a very flexible presenter. So if you have questions, I want you to feel free to put them in the chat. That is always a great option. But if you're comfortable, please feel free to unmute and ask your question as well. If you're like me, by the end of the day, you have so many things going through your head that it might be easier to just unmute and ask the question. And I'm totally fine with doing that. Also, even though this is thinking routines, I'll leave some time at the end, not only for you to get your badge and certificate and fill out your survey, but also if you have any questions. And at that time, if there's something else that you'd like me to show you, or you'd like me to go back and show you something again, please don't be shy. I am here to help all of you. So please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. All right. So taking a look at the screen in front of you, thinking routines have many pedagogical implications. We know that as teachers, and we know that it's a wonderful thing for us to be able to model our thinking for our students. It could feel a little awkward at first, but it really helps our students. We know that when we model our thinking routines, it helps it can help our students really see and hear what we're doing. And then this helps us as teachers see and hear our students' voices and be able to respond to their individual needs. All right. We also know, and I'm sorry, just letting more people in, that thinking routines create opportunities for collaboration and communication. And I know that my students, whether they be my elementary school students or honestly, my college students, they learn better when they're able to collaborate and communicate. So when we bring in those discussions or when they work together with a partner or within a small group and they can talk out their ideas and what they're doing, it really does create a more engaging, meaningful educational opportunity. We also know that thinking routines help our students take agency in their own learning. Again, this just leads to greater engagement and more meaningful learning. So before we begin talking specifically about thinking routines, what we're going to do is take a look at the Learn tab within Adobe Express. So again, this is something that we kind of do. We pop in there during our monthly trainings. But if you haven't done it before, I'm going to invite you to do it with me now. So again, I apologize because I'm going to be flipping screens. And I want to point out the Learn tab. The Learn tab is over here on the left-hand side, and it's right here with the light bulb. So when we click on the Learn tab, what you're going to see, and if you haven't checked it recently, it's been zhuzhed up, right? It's been updated. But in the Learn tab, there are all kinds of little articles and videos specifically for educators. So these obviously will not be in your student accounts. And they're here to really get you started. So you can see at the top, they are categorized, right? So we can go to Get Started. And in the Get Started tab, If you're new to Adobe Express for Education, you can click on this video right here, which I won't show you the video. I just want you to know that it's in here, right? But it gives you a quick tour of the site. We're going to go back to the Learn tab. If you or your students are interested in design, video, photography, generative AI, they can look at all these things. Now, we have a section right here that's just for teachers. So here you can watch a real quick video. And as an educator myself, I really appreciate that they're quick videos because we don't have time, right, to watch a 20-minute video. There's just not enough time in the day. So a quick video on empowering student voice with responsible Gen AI, right? It's one of the things, one of the many things I love about Adobe Express, but it's that responsible AI. Easy ways to level up your projects. Here's that tour I was showing you. Getting started with classrooms, which I'm going to show you later on in this training. And student activities. These are phenomenal guided activities, which we can also find right up here in the tab. Guided activities are great not only for your students, but for you as well. If you're kind of new to the platform or you're just dipping your toes in and you're not 100% sure how to use the platform or maybe even how you'll use it in your classroom, these guided activities are short, fun activities that show you little videos and actually talk you through the projects. Now, these are meant for you to do for your students to do independently or for you to do with your students. But like I said, I like doing these as well. And I think they're a great way to become familiar with the many different things in the platform. So here's one that's brand new. These are always updated. This is designing your 2025 mood boards. So I just want to show you what these guided activities look like. So whether your students pull this up or you pull this up and show your students and do a demo, it always starts off over here on the right-hand side with a little video. So you can see this video is very short, but what it's going to do is it's going to give directions to you or your students. So let me play a small piece of it.
In this project, you will design your 2025 mood board to help set the tone for the year ahead. You will learn to work with design elements, add photos, and insert objects. Let's get started. Step 1. Select a photo from the template and choose Replace. Then search in the image panel for a new photo or video, or upload one from your device. To change how an image is framed, double-click to show the crop menu. Then
I'm just going to pause right there. So what it does is not only does it help your students to create something, so in this case, they're creating a mood board, but along the way, it shows them how to use all of the different features of the platform. So it's showing them how to replace and choose new images. It's going to show them how to replace and use new text. They can make this video bigger. The wonderful thing about the video, right, which I love when directions are given through video because we have the opportunity to go back and rewatch it, right? So it's really just a wonderful way that it differentiates for our students and for us as well. So I won't play the whole video for you, but during our work block today, I will have a couple of suggestions, things you can work on, but I'll never know if you want to go in and practice some of these things. All right. So at the top, you're going to see this assign button. And what this assign button is for is this goes along with classrooms, which you probably just heard me mention a couple minutes ago. And I'm going to show you how to assign this to your students if it's something that you want to have your students work on together with you. I'm going to hit my back arrow and I'm going to go back. We were in guided activities within the Learn tab. All right. And again, you can see a gratitude journal, right? Design and animate unique Gen AI creatures. Make yourself an action figure, right? And there are so many of them here. So again, they're just a fantastic way to get your students motivated and excited using the Adobe Express platform, right? And it's not just for ELA. So here you can see creating your own geometry garden. So math, you can bring science into this, right? You can bring history with this is biographical video, right? There's so many different things that you can do and your students can do across all content areas. And then the last thing in the Learn tab is the 12 days of creativity. So this was actually started back before the holidays, right? Because you can see here's designing an ugly sweater. Here's animating you in a box. Here we have the 2025 vision board. But these are, again, just a series of 12 activities, right? That you could assign daily or you could have your students do daily just to really hone their skills within the platform. All right. They're really fun. And I have to tell you, students really, really do enjoy them. And while they're doing them, they're learning all of those great skills as well. So it's kind of a tricky way to get them to learn. So I'm going to pop back to my home screen. If you're not familiar with the platform, or this is kind of your first time using it or seeing it, we can always hop back to the home screen by either clicking the home button if we're here, or clicking this little rainbow A right here in the upper left-hand column. And that brings us right back to the home screen. All right, I am going to flip back to my slides and we're going to keep moving. So that was our quick tour of the Learn tab. Again, the Learn tab can always be found at towards the very bottom. It's the second to last icon on your dashboard, and the dashboard is always going to be right here. So I see someone raise their hand. Feel free to unmute and ask your question. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm so sorry if this sounds like a silly question.
No
Um,
silly questions.
is there a marriage between Google Classrooms and Adobe Express where a link to a specific assignment can be pushed out to a classroom? It's not overly complicated to just bring that assignment over to Google Classroom, but I know that some applications do have that synchrony going on, where again you can just create your Google Classroom assignment from a specific app itself.
Yeah, no, that's not a silly question at all. That's an awesome question. And they're not in sync yet. So what you can do is you can create the assignment and just drop the link into your Google Classroom. So they work very well together, but they don't sync up yet. So I knew exactly what you were saying when you said that, because there are a lot of platforms that it does sync perfectly. We're not there yet, but it's getting there. That was a great question. Thank you. All right, so let's go on now to your first activity. So remember, this is visible thinking routines. So if I was going to do this with my class, one of the things I might do is start something together. So this activity, and I'm going to actually show you two activities, and I'm going to put both links in the chat for you. So you can choose one activity that you want to do, or you can try both, because I'm going to give you about a 10-minute work block. But the activities are creating a newspaper headline graphic. And the first one is actually from the Three Little Pigs. I had to think about that title for a minute because all I saw was pigs without permits. So the first one, and like I said, don't worry, I'll drop these in there for you. I'll drop the links in there. But the first one, when you pull it up, it's supposed to look like a newspaper, as I said. And what you're going to do is when you get it, you're going to see down in this corner, remix this design. So you're going to click on remix this design. Now, remember, as soon as you click on that, this is automatically going to be saved now to right over here in your stuff. So as soon as you open a project, as soon as you start a project, it's automatically saved. So one of the things I recommend over here is add your title right away, because then you'll know what it is. So I might just say newspaper. I have to spell it correctly though, right? And then your task is going to be, right, if we go back to the slides, to create and remix the existing design to create your own. So maybe you want to change the headline. So remember, anything you hover over is editable. So if you want to work on changing this headline, you're going to click on it, and then it brings up the text editing tools right over here. You can click into this, you can highlight it, you can change the font, you can change the color, the size, anything you want. Maybe you want to come down here and maybe you want to change the title of the newspaper, or maybe you want to change the font. Maybe you want to practice writing today's date, or maybe you want to come in here and you want to change the entire image, right? You can replace the image. It doesn't matter what you do right now. What I want you to really do is practice doing all of these steps. And since we're working on visible thinking routines, as awkward as it might be, talk to yourself while you're doing it, right? Talk yourself through it, because that's what we really want our students to be doing. So that's the first activity that you can choose to participate in. The second activity, so the first one is the newspaper headline graphic. The second one is exploring a story's big idea. So again, we're going to stick with the three little pigs. This is, again, remixing this design to create your own. And this one's a little bit different. This one I think is fantastic for all grades, but especially our younger students. Look what happens with this one. I'm going to click on it here. And I'm gonna
fairy tale.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring it back here. This is actually pictures that were generated and copied. So this is from the Adobe Express stock photos. And then what this was is a student, and you can hear by the voice, it's a very young student, actually narrates it. So a lot of times teachers are, they're hesitant to use this with younger students because they're not sure how our younger students will use this. Well, when students create video, they can narrate these. So they can talk through their thinking right within the platform and record it. So I'm going to let you listen to this student's thinking. So it's very short. So here we go.
In the Three Little Pigs fairy tale, the big idea is that you need to work hard and do things right the first time. The lazy pigs should have done it right from the start, like the smart pig, who used bricks to build a stronger house. It's like taking your time to do your homework right the first time so you can get a good grade on it. When I took my time to write my book report, I got an A+ on it.
So here it is, thinking about the big idea. So again, talking through it, right? And using a digital platform to show what you know in a different kind of way, right? So again, we're kind of giving our students that voice and choice and bringing in that universal design for learning, where we're letting our students express themselves in different ways. So this is going to be the second option, or the second activity that you are going to be able to try. Now, as I said, if you want to go rogue and try something else, go for it, right? This is your time to kind of go in and to practice these things while I'm still here in the meeting, so that if you have questions, I'm here to hopefully help you answer them. All right. What I'm going
I just had one more question. So
Oh,
sorry.
no, stop it. Ask. Go right ahead.
About that particular feature, because I'm all about the interdisciplinary connections as well as accessibility. So, does it also have other language features where it's not
Yes.
just because, in addition to, we have some immersion schools or
Oh,
immersion classes having a large ML population,
yes.
and world languages application via the Integrate Tech.
Yes.
Is it able to?
Yes, and I am so glad you asked that question. Thank you so much. I just switched screens and I'm going to show you right now how you can access that. You're asking like beautiful questions. I love this. All right. When you're on your home screen, if you go up here to settings, and so settings is just going to be this little picture. You can see my name's right here. If you go under settings, you're going to see right here, language. So select your preferred language. So if you click on this, look at all of the different languages that the site can be changed to, I guess. So hopefully here you will be able to find different settings that will set your platform to different languages for your students. Now, the other thing that you can do is when you are in, so I'm going to go to your stuff, my stuff right now. I'm just going to find something that I was working on. The other thing that you can do is when your students are actually in their design, they can switch over. I'm trying to, I don't think it's going to work with this one, but there is also a way that students can change the language, or you can change the language as well. Oh, translate, it's right here. Okay, it was literally right in front of my face. So you can highlight any text, hit translate, and then you can also translate to any of these languages. And there are even more languages here. So the two different things for your multi-language learners or for their families or for, classrooms, if you want to have your students change the entire site so that the entire site is in their home language, that's going to be up here for them. And that's going to be right here under settings and right here. If you are creating something for your students or for your students' families and you want to translate it, you're going to hit translate, and then your text it will highlight all the text. And then you can come over here and you can scroll and pick the language, right? I don't know why I chose Dutch. That's a rant that I have to tell you I've never had, but it's a good example for you. Okay. And then, you always have the back arrow if you want to go back, anything. So hopefully that answered your question, and hopefully that will help you and your students. That was such an important question. I'm so glad you asked that. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop in the chat the two different activities that I'm actually starting with 1B. I apologize. That was just the first one. All right. So this is the video. So I just dropped the link to the video in there. And then this is going to be the link to activity 1A. Oops. And this link is going to be for the headline. So these are two visible thinking activities that you can participate in. So I labeled them 1B and 1A. I did 1A second. I apologize for that. But 1A is going to be creating a newspaper headline graphic, and 1B is exploring a story's big idea, but remixing this design right here and maybe re-recording the video or using a different concept with it. It is up to you. But what we'll do now is I'm just going to grab my phone, is I will give you about 10 minutes to go into the platform now, click on those links and start playing around with some of those activities. After about 10 minutes, we'll come back. And at that time, when you come back, if anyone wants to share what they did during the work block, we can. And if not, that's totally fine. We're going to hop into a new idea. So again, I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. I'm going to mute myself, but I'm not going anywhere. So feel free to ask me any and all questions that you might have. But really enjoy this time going in, clicking on the links in the chat, and have fun playing. Perfect. All right. Would anyone like to share?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi.
Hi, I am Brandy Odom.
Hi,
And
Brandy.
I was playing around. Hi, I was playing around with the animation tool at first, and then I went to what was it called? The AI, the generating in imaging, AI imaging. So I inserted two more scenes onto the template.
Oh,
So
cool.
I typed in brown wolf blowing house of hay down.
Okay.
And it pulled it, it generated it, and then I did one with the wolf blowing the house made of sticks down.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really bad at technology, so I'm trying to branch out more. But
Yeah.
it kind of put me into the mind of I'm going to date myself. But when PowerPoint,
Oh,
and you can
I'm
play
with you.
around with the imaging and
Yeah.
things, and so it reminded me of.
Good. Oh my gosh. And believe me, there is no bad at technology. And the only way to really like feel comfortable with this stuff is to practice it. So thank you so much for sharing. I feel like that AI is so fun. The generative
Show that
AI.
again. Can you show the AI part again? How you find that? Because I must have missed that. I must have been getting my drink.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll show that absolutely. So I'm going to switch screens. So the generative AI, you can actually access it in a couple of places. But what we were just talking about, you can either get it right here. So, and you can describe something right here, or you can even scroll. So if you scroll to the bottom here, keep scrolling to generate image, you could put it here too. So what she was saying she did was she did brown wolf blowing down house made of sticks. Let's see what I get for this. And then just hit generate and let's see what comes up. And your students can do this as well. It takes a minute, obviously, because it's generating an image. Do, do,
So
do.
you created a brand new document so it wasn't already on the pig one. So you just did
No, 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 no.
okay.
And so this one, as you can see, a little too realistic. So what I would do for this is I would go under where it says content types. And I would go under a graphic. So, like, I would change it. So, you can change it to be like a graphic would be more cartoon. This one is like more photo. Let's see what it goes to when we go to cartoon. Yeah, so what she had actually, that's a little bizarre. So, I would probably keep changing it and reworking it, right? Because it's not always perfect. But it's also a really good way for your students to learn that like wording matters, right? And how you describe something. Now, I don't know how this got to be this, but I could change it and keep, playing around with my wording until I got an image and then insert that image. So that's how she got that image. So that's
Yeah.
the AI.
I just wanted. I'm sorry. This is
No,
Brandy
Brandy, go
again.
ahead. Yeah.
I did add my image on by adding. I clicked on add scene
Yeah.
bottom
Yep.
of the three little pig
Yep.
template, and then once I did that, under what was that media, it allowed me to generate the image. So that's what I did.
Perfect. So I'm just going to show everyone what you did. So you went right here to
But
add.
yeah, with the wording, you have to be exact.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, mine was not that exact. But this is what Brandy did. Thanks, Brandy. And then when she hit add scene, then she added it right in here, right? And again, here you can search your image or you can create an image. So I could say, wolf. Oh my goodness. Blowing down house of sticks. Or I could generate an image myself. So if I didn't find what I liked, I could come in here and then I could generate my own image, which is what it sounds like what Brandy did. So you would go to media and then you can generate the image, which I think Brandy did. If you have an image, you could upload it or you could search all of the stock photos in Adobe Express and add it that way. But that's how she added to a video, and that's how your students would add to a video as well. So hopefully that helped. But that Gen AI is so fun to play around with. And that's so when it says responsible AI, um, it is constantly being monitored, and it's not going to allow your students to pull up any image that could be controversial in any way. So, I mean, obviously, we're always going to want to check because students are tricky. But it's, anything that's inappropriate. I think I even one time put in the word slimy. I was trying to do something like a slimy frog, and it flagged the word slimy even. So I mean, it is really, really on top of everything. And I've described it before as AI with guardrails because it's also only generative AI. So it only generates pictures and images. It does not generate text. So it's a little bit, I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit safer as well. So it really is just kind of used for that creativity piece. So what I'm going to show you now is, and we just have a few more minutes because I'm going to give you time at the end to get your badge and to fill out your survey in Vector. I believe Vector, I think I said that right. But what I want to show you now for our other activity, if you're interested in, is setting up a classroom within Adobe Express. You do this, again, excuse me while I go back. Let me get this weird wolf off my screen. You do this on your home screen again, and it's on the left-hand side on your dashboard, and it's right here. It's Classrooms. If you click on Classrooms, you can actually create a class. Super easy to do. You just go here to create a class, right? You can put in a class name, and you can see I had a couple of them, so I'll just say, I'll make this one be Sean's new class. You can pick your subject area if you want. You can pick your grade, or, if it's a period because you teach maybe 10th grade and you teach 3 different subjects, whatever you want to do, and then you're going to hit save. So once you create a class, you're going to get, and you can see you can import it. So this is the link that you had asked me about that I just put in the chat. So you can actually import your roster right from Google Classroom. So I totally misspoke when I said it wasn't synced because it absolutely is. But you can have your students copy this class code. You can make it be a QR code that they can scan because Adobe Express can be used across all platforms. Or you could just copy this and drop it in Google Classroom or import a roster. And then what happens is, and this is nothing where you're not going to be grading these or anything, but what it's going to allow you to do then is create assignments and have all of your students working on the same thing. So you can hit create an assignment here, right? And you can manually create the assignment. But what I think is really cool is if like I go back into my Learn tab and I go to these guided activities or the 12 days of creativity, right? I can go into any of these and you'll see the assign button. So I can hit assign and then I can pick my class that I want to assign it to, right? So I can scroll down here, choose a class. I could say Sean's new class, grade 5. And you can actually, if you want to, you can even click on class gallery, which allows students to see each other's work, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a nice way to have students share without really having to share. And then you can do the student view if you want, so you can see what it looks like as your student. And then you just click assign. So it's really, really simple to do. But it's just a way to kind of ensure that all of your students are working on the same assignment. All right. So if you wanted them all to do the mood board and again, all of those, you can go to learn and you can find them up here. All right. So that's classrooms. It's nothing that you have to do. I just think it's something that could if you want to get your students to start creating in Adobe Express and you kind of want to have them all going through the same process or trying the same things, it makes it a little bit easier because, they're all getting the same assignment. All right. And again, it's not an assignment that you're going to be grading or anything unless you want to, but you don't grade it through here on Adobe Express. It's just really to get them familiar with the site. Before we wrap up and I open it for questions and I give you time to get your badge and your survey, complete your survey, I just want to show you one other thing. And this is the Educator Resources tab here at the bottom. So the Educator Resource tabs, again, they're just a lot of really great activities that you can assign or share out with your students. So there's guided activities right here that are filtered by subject area. There are templates right here by subject area. Here's more adaptable templates. So if you're looking for graphic organizers, there's some right here. Classroom activities, and more professional learning for you. So if there's something else, so if I've done a session with Jefferson County for Gen AI in the classroom, but maybe you missed that session, or maybe you want to, you forgot, or then you want to learn a little bit more. You can go through any of these self-paced courses. They're self-paced, as I just said, but they're also really quick. We call this really lightning learning because it's a 30-minute course, right? Where you can go through and you can see all of the different topics right here. All right, so there's lots of different things that you can do. And that is found right here under Educator Resources. All right, what I want to do right now is here's just another possibility. If you have, if you want to scan these QR codes or take a screenshot of this page, these are just some opportunities to join our Adobe Creative community. So it's a group of educators who share ideas, resources, all kinds of great things like that. We have a Facebook group, right? And then we actually have the Adobe Creative Educators, which you can find through this bit.ly link right up here. All right, now I am going to drop this link. Hold on one second. I am going to drop this link directly in the chat for you. And this is the link that you will now use to get your certificate, your badge and certificate for today. And I want to show you how quick and easy that is. You are going to click on, you're going to click, not quick. You are going to click on this link and it is going to bring you to a screen that looks exactly like this, what I have here. You are going to click on the Enroll Now button. Let me show you. You're going to click on Enroll Now and you are going to click on Continue Learning. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scroll to the bottom and here it says Next. You're going to click on Next and that's all you're going to do because you don't have to go through the course because you just did it with me. Once you do that and you see the beautiful confetti, you are going to get a badge and certificate that is going to be sent to the email address that is associated with your Adobe Education account. So I'm guessing it's your school email address. So in about 20 to 30 minutes, give or take, you are going to get that emailed directly to you. So just like on my screen, I don't see the badge or certificate now. It will be emailed to me and yours will be emailed to you. So you are going to click on this link. If you haven't done it already, just take the minute now and get it done. You're going to click on Enroll Now. You're going to click on, if it says Continue Learning, you'll click on that. Underneath the video, it'll say Next. Click on Next. It might have a survey for you to complete. If it does, you're going to just quickly complete that survey, or you'll just get the confetti and it'll say congratulations, just like mine did, and you'll get your badge and certificate. Once you've done that, I also would like to give you the last 5 minutes to complete the feedback survey in your PD platform, which is Vector, for this session. So I don't have access to that. I believe you all have access to that. But I wanted to make sure that I gave you time to do that as well. Before we do that, does anyone have any questions, or is there anything else that I can show you within the platform? All right, then I will give you the next 5 minutes to complete. And again, I'll drop that badge and certificate link back into the chat one more time. You can click on that, click on Enroll Now, click on Continue Learning. Underneath the video, click on the word Next. You'll get to your badge and certificate. And then, since there are no questions, please feel free to take the final 5 minutes of our training, complete the feedback survey in your PD Vector platform, and then you are free to go and enjoy your Monday night. We have another training in February where we will cover a new topic in Adobe Express for Education, and I hope to see you back then. But so thank you, everyone. Feel free when you're done with your 2 surveys to log off and have a wonderful night. Thank you all.